Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm here with a different type of video, and it's really a video that I kind of did not want to make, but I feel it's absolutely necessary to get my point across. So, as you can tell by the title, though, I will be talking about my experience on the Beyblade community on an app called Amino and why I left it. So, it's kind of a different tone because I know this channel has reached 20,000 subscribers, and as happy as I am about that, I do want to address this experience that I had. And uh, and yeah, so let's begin with what is Amino anyway? If you're not familiar with Amino, it's a an app that has several communities within it, and it's a basically like a I want to describe it like Google Plus in a way. You can share posts and photos and videos and all that. So it's really an amazing app, and I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more. But yeah, there's Beyblade communities on it, of course, and there's one specific community that's like the largest one, and a lot of people go to it. Basically, everybody goes into that one. So it's like the main Beyblade group on there. And I'm gonna just talk about my initial experience. So I first heard of Amino from Illinois. He made a video about it, and when I first heard of it, I'll be honest, I kind of thought it'd just be like any other community that really just kind of dies out after a few months. But recently I heard that the app or the community was still thriving, so I thought that was really unique because for a community like that to continue growing and thriving is pretty amazing, especially because I've been in previous communities that have died out in the past. So after a few months, like literally this was a week ago, I decided to make an account on Amino and see what it's like. So upon doing that, I came to the realization that Amino is a really good app, and I thought it'd be a really nice platform to reach out to my audience and my subscribers and change our connection from a screen to like an actual community, an app. And I just really thought this app was amazing at doing that. The way it's set up and the way that it's all interconnected is just really convenient, and it makes it really easy for someone like me or any other VTuber to reach out to their audience. So that's immediately what I realized upon like coming across this app. Um, so I went ahead and created my account, and this was literally a week ago, or just about a week ago. And I'm gonna just divide this into two sides, so the positives and the negatives, and why I ultimately left. That's gonna be towards the end though. And I really did give this a lot of thought before making it because this video could have been done as a rant or calling them out, but I'm just really going to give my thoughts and what I think should change. And, they don't have to follow it, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to start with the positives because there's not a lot, but I do want to talk about them. So, number one, the community itself, as in the members that make up this community, they are all in Beyblade. They're all into Beyblade. We all have the same interest. And right after making my account, I got contacted by a lot of these members that are really kind and told me some really nice words, which really meant a lot to me because, as I've said, us VTubers, or just YouTubers in general, we don't really have a direct connection with our audience. And I feel like, especially in a Beyblade community, that needs to change. It needs to be more direct so that we can build a longer connection and maybe even uh, build a just a better connection with our subscribers, which will help improve our content and what our subscribers want to watch. Because at the end of the day, we are making videos for you guys. So I was just so shocked by the attention and the support that I got, and it really was amazing to see it every morning. Like people saying, "Hey, I love your videos. You made my day," and all that. So I really appreciated the love and support. Number two, and I already said this before, but the way the app is set up, the app is just it was kind of hard to navigate through at first, but I realized that it really does have a lot of potential to connect VTubers with their audiences or just like any community in general. I know there are various communities in this app, but I'm just talking about Beyblade as a whole right now. Especially because if you compare this to something like the WBO, which is just a lot more regulated, there is a pretty big difference in the demographic in the people that use the two different websites or forums. So, with that being said, though, I think Amino does have the potential to be more than what it is right now and help out the community entirely, not just Baytubers. And hopefully I'm phrasing that right, but I'm just saying it's a really nice app to connect with others. So that's the other positive. I guess the third positive would be the attention I got. So I am pretty popular on YouTube as a Baytuber. I wouldn't consider myself the most popular, but I did get a lot of attention, and it almost felt like being a celebrity, to be honest. And it felt kind of weird at first, but kind of amazing at the same time because I really never had direct contact with my audience up until recently through this app. So having it firsthand was a pretty amazing experience, and it felt just really awesome. It felt like a lot of what I do really does matter, and it made me feel better about myself personally because I do have issues with self worth and self respect. So this really did help me out a lot. So that's the other positive. Now let's move on to the negatives, and I'm gonna talk about like specific instances and just for the sake of these individuals' privacy, I'm not even gonna mention their names or give out their information. I'm gonna show you some screenshots in a little bit though. So my initial bad encounter or bad experience was when I said the acronym LMAO, which means laughing my A off. I said it just as a joke because I feel like a lot of people say it, and upon saying it, I immediately got contacted by one of the leaders. Now, these leaders are pretty much the people that run the entire community, not the Amino app, but the community. So the Beyblade group within the Amino app. Hopefully that makes sense. So they're kind of like the moderators or the admins within this community. I immediately got contacted by one of them telling me that what I had said was wrong and that I need to follow the rules. So I treated it in the most professional and respectful way, but I feel like they misunderstood the context, and this person was pretty much like treating me as if I purposely did it to violate the rules. And as I said, that was not the case at all. I had briefly looked at the rules and the guidelines, but I did not know they were that strict, especially when it came to a word like LMAO, which really I can't see the exact cursing part of it besides, the A word, but it was not used in a harmful context, but rather just as just to say hello or whatever. So after that, I was told by other leaders, so the people that run this group, to follow the rules over and over again. And I feel like they were purposely doing it because I had violated the rules once, even though it was a misunderstanding. And despite this initial encounter, I did resolve it with this first leader that contacted me. And I felt like everything was fine from that point. It was a misunderstanding, right? And then afterwards, I was told that this is another experience, pretty much like what happened afterwards. Um, I was told by the same leader that had contacted me first that I was causing an issue within the community because I made a sudden appearance. I guess my presence did cause a lot of activity and a lot of people to get excited, which I thought was amazing. Like I guess it felt like a celebrity had just come into the community. But these leaders that were in charge did not appreciate that. In fact, I don't want to say word for word, I'm going to paraphrase it, but they basically told me, yeah, you're causing a lot of problems within our community right now. Now, upon reading that, felt upset and just kind of like shocked because I didn't directly ask my audience to come out and say, hey, I'm a big fan. I simply just came on there as any other user, and I just caused this reaction. So, the way they approached me out for that, though, that I just thought that was not professional and not respectful of me because don't get me wrong, I know I'm popular, I know I'm not the ordinary user, so when I came on this app suddenly, I could see that it did cause a big reaction, but I don't think it was necessary for this person to reach out to me and say, hey, you're causing problems. Like, even if I was causing problems, I don't think telling me flat out like that was necessary. So that was another negative experience to add to the list. And there's more. All right. following that, I, I being the person I am, I'm popular. I was confronted by these leaders once again, this time telling me to verify myself. Now, the manner in which they asked me was not polite. It was not respectful at all either. At least the way I was perceiving it, it just did not seem professional. I felt like they could have had better worded their questions when trying to verify who I am. And in response to that, I was just confused because I had no idea I had to verify myself. I just wanted to get on there as a user, but also as a BayTuber. But I guess because of my image and because of who I am, I had to verify myself to them. And I asked them a few times, well, how am I supposed to verify myself? I'm not familiar with this app. And I had to wait a few hours for a response. And finally, they did it in the most kind of random way possible. And that was replying to one of their comments on my videos, which I immediately did upon request. And at that moment, I was verified. But the whole experience itself was not professional, not respectful for me. It was just like, hey, we don't believe it's you. We want you to verify yourself. That was the approach I was given. And I just did not appreciate it because I don't think it was just not justified. Like, they just could have worded it better or been a lot more kinder. So after that incident, I did get verified, which helped out because I know other fans in the community were concerned whether it was a real account or not, but I was true. I had pure intentions. So then, there was just yet another bad experience. And this didn't happen until pretty much the last day I was on this app. I got used to the app, and like I said, I realized that this app is just really nice to communicate with others and reach out. So at this point, I was considering making a video about it, a positive video about it, telling other BayTubers, because I don't mean to brag, but I'm in contact with a lot of BayTubers in the community. So I was thinking of maybe even telling them to expand their accounts to Amino, which would have really helped out the community as a whole. I'm going to touch up on that even more later. And that was a plan because everything was kind of going smoothly from that point on. And then what had happened, pretty much like the last day I was on, was I had reached 20,000 subscribers. Now, this was a big accomplishment for me because, 20,000 subscribers. I was thinking of reaching 10,000 last summer, and to reach 20,000 now was amazing. I was so shocked and I was so happy, and I figured, this would be a good way to announce it, to reach out to my audience directly before making a video and saying, hey, we did it. We reached 20,000 subscribers. Stay tuned for an update. That was pretty much what my post said. I made a public post about it, which was on the feed of this community. And this feed does have posts from all users in the community, so they can post whatever they want. And like I said, I made a post saying, hey, I reached 20,000 subscribers. Stay tuned for more. Thank you, everybody. It was all positive, no negative stuff, nothing. Just me thanking my subscribers. And I remember just going offline for a bit because I was in the middle of class and all that. But as I got back on, I was notified once again by the specific leader in charge that I had violated the rules. And their explanation was, and you could see it here, was basically that it was off topic or just I was violating the rules. And then I even questioned, like, well, I'd previously made posts about my videos and even made an announcement prior to that. And that was okay, but then this announcement was not okay. And I was confused about that. I was genuinely confused. And then this person linked me or showed me a screenshot of the rules that had literally word for word stated, BayTubers cannot thank their subscribers, or you can see right here. I don't know off the top of my head. It's right there. And then I thought about it for a minute, and I sent it to my friends online, which was pretty much where I'm in contact with other BayTubers. And somebody mentioned, hey, that sounds kind of specific. And upon realizing that, I realized that that specific part of that sentence was made in response to what I had asked earlier. So basically, had I not asked that question about why I had violated the rules, that part of the rules would not have even been there. So then it clicked in my head that these leaders have the ability to edit the rules at any point in time. So they can make it seem like you're simply violating the rules all the time, even though what you had done previously was allowed, and now it's not. So in this case, me making an announcement before that I was on Amino was allowed, but then making an announcement that I reached 20,000 subscribers was not allowed. And this is all stated in the rules that they had edited the same day. And then at that moment, I just got the impression that they didn't want me there. And another thing clicked in my head. Why wasn't there more BayTubers on here? At first, I thought it was just a lack of communication and reaching out to us, but then I realized that the people in charge of this community, they don't want BayTubers. And there's a lot of explanations or possible explanations, and I think the number one reason is because they want to remain in control. I feel like if us BayTubers with our power and our resources were to come on there, I feel like we take the spotlight of these leaders that worked pretty hard to create the community. And I kind of respect where they're coming from, but that's not the way to do it. I feel like we need to coexist within these communities because we do bring a lot of people in and we do have a lot of say. So I think it's absolutely necessary that we're within these communities. Now, that is my specific opinion. But to them, I feel like their power was threatened. And that is why they did not want me there. And this person I was speaking to, keep in mind the exact same person that had first caused the whole follow the rules thing, they were just kind of laughing it off as if it were just, if I was a nobody. Like, I was on this app with pure intentions to bring more people in, to spread the word, to bring more BayTubers in, to help the community. And these leaders were being selfish and not allowing that. They did not want change. They wanted to keep their power and remain in charge. I just realized there's no point. If I can't have any success there, I don't think any other BayTubers will. So I made the most appropriate decision, and that was deleting my account and leaving that Amino forever. And it sounds kind of dramatic, but this all happened over the course of a week. It wasn't just like instances, like it wasn't months apart. It was day after day pretty much. And I got the impression they didn't want me there, and ultimately I decided to take my leave. And the person, I even warned them that I would make a video about this. I'm not making it to expose them per se. I mean, you could see it that way, but they thought that it wasn't even going to help my cause because they think it was just going to bring more attention to them. And I don't know if this video is going to, but yeah, I'm making this video because this is stuff that does need to be addressed. I don't think they should be in that position, really. If you're going to be selfish and not allow growth in your community, why are you in a position of a leader? You need to reconsider your priorities, really. So, I ultimately left, and I had a few people contact me saying that this said person had made a post about it on Instagram, I believe, which I didn't even see. So whatever words this person may have said, they may have been twisted, but know that in this video, I'm telling you the absolute truth, and I have screenshots to prove it. And one more thing to add was that I could have been the type to screenshot every message that was said to me, but I decided to take the most respectful and kind route that I could take and not keep this evidence, because I thought I could overcome it and move on, but that was not the case for these leaders. Now, I mentioned leaders over and over again because there are multiple people in charge, and I'm sure some of them have good intentions, but in this case, one specific leader, who I'm not going to name, for the sake of their privacy, truly did not want me there. That was the impression I got at first, and that's the impression I got when I left. They pretty much told me, bye. So, I left. People were questioning me why I left and all that, and this video is talking about that. It's pretty much addressing my entire experience. That literally happened in the course of a week, and what went from a really good experience and hopes to being kicked out pretty much. So, I hope you can take with this what you want. Just know that this really did happen. I was just honestly really upset about it and kind of shocked because I felt like in my position I could have done a lot to the community to help it grow and improve, but they just didn't want me there. I hope you can understand. That's just the reason why I left. Yeah, I think I'm just going to end the video here. I'll see you guys next time.